But as I alluded to, our first matchup was a bit of a slobber knocker. It was a good one. But now we're moving on to the rematch, Toastmonster versus BigBen. And it is also going to be a team fight, boys. It is two M&M players that are going to be going up against each other here. And they are ready to get up on that stage and get themselves in position to duke it out as well. So this should be a beautiful affair once we get them in position.
Yes, it's going to be a very big matchup. Looking at them both, runner-up and champion. Massive.
Yeah, especially they're both teammates, as you once said. Toastmonster, also my HGG teammate. We're actually up late at night yesterday playing against Bulgaria, which we unfortunately lost against 2-3. But Toastmonster this year has been doing quite well in the scene, both internationally and domestically. He won a smaller LAN earlier this year. iSeries used to be one of the premier LANs in the UK, but it's fallen down a bit over the years. But it's still a great event to win. It's definitely still the biggest, apart from the Prem. That's the biggest LAN in the UK. So Toastmonster is having a good year. As for BigBen, he's been doing pretty well internationally over the past few years as well. Like last year, he did come second place in DreamHack Valencia, which was probably, as he says, his biggest achievement as of yet. But if he takes down another ESL Prem title, back-to-back winner, that could be the newest accomplishment.
But the issue is, James, obviously, for BigBen, he's been out of commission for a few years now and isn't actually going to return to making that wonderful dinging noise in London until 2021.
Yeah.
So he's just not going to have any energy in him, is he? But his opponent in Toastmonster has a little bit of cojones. He's got some spunk to him. He's an absolute gamer. And we have an interview with him. We caught up with him earlier. Let's see what he had to say about himself.
So I'm Toastmonster and I play Hearthstone for M&M Gaming. It took me about a year to get into sort of the competitive side of Hearthstone. Before that, I was kind of playing other games for a kind of competitive outlet. And then over the past year or so, I've sort of started focusing on Hearthstone a lot more, putting more time into it, more effort and practice, and attending more tournaments and stuff. And that's kind of led me to where I am today. I've always sort of enjoyed the competitive side of games, even when I played things like World of Warcraft and then stuff like League of Legends, obviously naturally just lends itself to that. So it felt like quite a natural fit for Hearthstone too. So this season of ESL has been a little bit different to me for the last one. It's sort of my second season in the Premiership. First one I was kind of new, it was all different and interesting, but this season I've been sort of travelling to a lot of tour stops and things, so tournament preparations come a lot more naturally to me this time. But I'm able to just put time in and use that time efficiently to sort of stay ahead of the competition.
He's been able to put the time in and the effort to develop himself as a player. And are we going to see that improvement here today, guys? What do you think is going to be the standout point for Toastmonster?
I think it's going to be a big task for him to take, not first of all, last season's champion, but also his own teammate. I'm sure both of these guys know each other extremely well and the way that they play. Just talking about the way that Toast has just came from strength to strength throughout this entire year. HGG has been a big thing for him as well, and just talking to him, he is really confident in what he's brought today. Even talking about him, just the HGG yesterday, he was very confident as well with his team. So a lot of morale and a lot of confidence that this guy has going into this big matchup.
Feeling himself, feeling fierce. Green Sheep, anything to add to that? Any key points we should be looking out for with Toast?
I mean, definitely. I mean, Toast just practically rose out of nowhere in the UK scene. He's just been playing the past year and a half comparatively, as you said, going to many more tour stops. Like all the top stops I go to, he's there. And sometimes he even does better than me in the tour stops. So
not too hard, though, is it?
Nowadays, even combined, you couldn't qualify for BlizzCon.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
It's a rough one, not what you want, but something you do want is a lovely interview from BigBen, the man himself, to see just what is going on inside that clock tower of his. Let's dive into the interview.
My name is BigBen and I play for M&M Gaming. I first started playing Hearthstone just in closed beta, and it was just really interesting playing a new card game which was designed for kind of tablets and touch interface. I went to my first DreamHack in 2015, and that's where I kind of got a taste for it, and then from there I got signed by a team, and it's only kind of grown since then. This season's been a little bit more rocky for myself to try and get to this stage of the tournament. I just scraped through with a 3-2 record. So I kind of got through, but I'm really happy to have made it to the live finals, and I think I'm going to be well prepared for the finals now. I'm particularly worried about facing my teammate Toastmonster. He's been doing very well in recent tournaments, been going abroad, and is in the HGG team. They're one game away from going to BlizzCon. So he's doing really well at the moment, and I think he might have got a lineup which will beat mine, and he's my first opponent, so we're going to have to see how about that. It was incredible to win the first tournament I had last season. That was like the first major I've had, and the potential to have a second ESL trophy next year would be incredible.
BigBen saying that he's a little bit scared to play up against Toastmonster, obviously his teammate. They're brothers in arms, and now they're going to be Hearthstone players in seats, but against each other.
Yeah, Ben, he has had a bit of a rough time in the regular season. I would mostly put that just the way that Deaddraw essentially came out of nowhere this season and managed to take down the #1. So, yeah, maybe that might have shaken him early on, but he still managed just about scraped on through. Did beat Leroy as well, quite funny enough. Quite happy he's not casting that. Maybe a bit of blood for vengeance there for Leroy. But certainly, yeah, Ben, we still know he can play the game as well as he can. Can he prove it against this big feat, which is going to be Toastmonster?
It is going to be a scary one. Green Sheep, would you say sitting on the side with the lavender candles could be a benefit?
I mean, if he likes lavender candles, then it definitely can be, can't it?
I suppose that's the thing. It depends if you like lavender or not. But we do now have what picks and bans have come through. So we can see what cards they dislike and who is not going to be getting played. Break this down for me, boys.
All right, so BigBen has exactly the same lineup as Ball Control has from the series before. So his primary objective is to target more control decks. His lineup consists of anti-control decks. He has the Taunt Druid, the Death Rattle Hunter, the Quest Rogue, and the Evenlock. While Toastmonster, in fact, has the exact counter lineup to BigBen. He has all the decks that destroy more control-y decks. He has a whole lineup that's targeting Quest Rogue. He has the Tempo Mage, the mid-range Spell Hunter, the Odd Rogue, and the Zoo. As for bans, BigBen chose to ban the Odd Rogue, since Odd Rogue is good against most of his decks, in fact all of them, whereas Toastmonster decides to ban the Taunt Druid.
Yeah, a lot of big decks coming in for Toast. You can see the very aggressive lineup. We haven't seen that as of yet, so this is going to be the first time seeing this new tempo style of play. And like James just did point out as well, it's going to be very strong against the Quest Rogue, which Ben has brought today, and that's exactly why Toast, he's decided to let that on through and instead get rid of the Druid, which would be the only big punishment against somebody who brings these tempo matchups.
Well, guys, one final thing before we dive into the action. Who do you think is going to take this matchup?
I'm going to say Toast.
I have to go with you. I mean, Toastmonster, my HGT teammate, but also look at the lineups. He is favored on paper.
Well, Toastmonster, definitely the fan favorite, but is he going to be able to pick it up? It is up to you guys to guide the viewers at home through the action. I'll leave you with this one. BigBen versus Toast. It's an M&M clash.
So let's get things started. James, so already we're seeing a pretty strong Zoolock coming out on the side of Toast, and then Ben, he's going to be going with that Quest Rogue. First up, so talking about the Zoolock versus Quest, what's the only thing that the Zoo has to worry about?
I mean, against Quest Rogue in general, all you have to worry about is when the quest gets completed. You also want to clear as many minions as possible so they can bounce, so that you can prevent them from bouncing and completing the quest. But you also want to push as much face damage as possible, as quickly as possible, because when it gets to a certain turn, the Quest Rogue will eventually have completed the quest and will be able to out-resource you, so you have to go really aggressive in this matchup and just hit them in the face.
Yeah, already a very scary looking board for Toast. Has the Voodoo Doctor, that's a good top draw as well, getting the goal. And of course, looking at the hand, there's nothing there that Ben has to stop that. Of course, he has picked up the Giggling as well, which will come down later on. So this is a lot of damage that Toast is already put on the board, starting to push as well. Double Doomguard in the hand, so that's going to be another... could be 10, more than likely. We could see that being discarded as well, the second one. But certainly a lot of things that is going in the way of Toast's favour at the moment.
Yeah, Toastmonster really has the explosive start. The Flame was definitely one of the best cards in the opening for the Zoo. He also had the Cobalt Librarian and the Voodoo Doctor, along with the Happy Ghoul follow-up on turn 2, which is insane. It's just the most amount of pressure that you can put down in the early game. Whereas on BigBen's side, he really doesn't have any early answers. He doesn't have like the Southsea deckhand to clean up some of this early board. But he did pick up the Vanish off the Mimic Pod. So if he ever draws a copy of Preparation, he could have a swing turn with Preparation Vanish, which puts all the minions back in hand for Toastmonster, and then he can develop his own board.
So it seems to be that Ben, once he hits turn 5, he can start to stabilize and survive his double giggling and also double vanish, like he did point out. But really, vanish could go a bit favored for Toast because he gets all of those resources back. He can get another, you know, happy-go-lucky for free, essentially, as well. Get another heal on the board, which could come in pretty big, and even get another Doomguard back. That's another 5 attack charger. So, yeah, maybe he does stabilize, but for really how long? Because we know how many threats Zoo does have, and the fact that he can simply draw every single turn, and then potentially, you know, get another big threat like the Fungal Monster, which is really the only thing that Toast is missing from this insane hand that he has.
He did pick up the Prem, but you are in fact on 3 HP already as BigBen, and it's only turn 5, so any copy of Soulfire could end the game. Toastmonster, in fact, does not run any Life Drinkers, so that's not a card that can end the game completely. But BigBen just opting to play down this Giggle Inventor. This Giggling Inventor actually prevents all the damage on board. Toastmonster does in fact run 1 copy of Blood Knight. He also has a Mossy Horror. You can't play the Mossy Horror just now, but Mossy Horror will be good later on in the game. But right now he does not have Lethal, though you can clear off both the Annoyatrons. But you are scared that if BigBen has a Sonya, he can play down the Sonya, trade in the Giggling Inventor, and play down another Giggling Inventor for 1 mana. So that's his main concern right now, but he doesn't have anything in hand that can deal with it.
So you can see Toast opting to go for the heal rather than going for the Librarian, attempting to get another draw, digs him deeper into that deck, and primarily Toast is still hunting for that Fungal Monster, pretty much like an immediate charge being played down. And yeah, this is where Ben can start to stabilize. He's going to go for the Prep Fan of Knives to potentially see if he could draw anything else to help him, but more than likely it will be another Giggling Inventor. Makes it so that Toast still has to punch through some more, but we keep saying, for how long can he really stall out this entire matchup?
Yep. Because Giggling Inventor does the same as what I did last turn. He even clears up a few minions with the little minions that he had left on board. But as I said before, if Toastmonster has the Mossy Horror, it's actually just game this turn. But BigBen doesn't really have any play around Giggling Inventor. He just has to play down the Giggling, around Mossy Horror, sorry. He does just have to play down the Giggling Inventor and hope that Toastmonster doesn't have the answer. And Toastmonster basically is trying to tap every single turn or draw as many cards as possible, because if he ever hits that Soulfire, he can just fling the Soulfire to face and that'll be just game on the spot.
Yes, another thing about Zoolock is that they have that instant burst damage. May it come from the Soulfire, even the Doomguard, which could potentially get bounced back as the Vanish is still going to be in the hand. Zola, what do you do? Bounce back potential Giggling, and even at that, you don't have the mana either. So
you're only at 7 mana, so even if he got another copy of Giggling Inventor, he wouldn't be able to play it down this turn.
Seems to be pretty good game from here. I don't think we see Ben coming back at all. And you said that during the pre-match that Toast, he brought these matchups that does so well against Quest Rogue because you put so much board presence, and because that Rogue does not have that board clear answers compared to the Druid, which was banned out so smartly by Toast. Knows he wins this matchup 80% of the time, I believe, checking some of the stats.
Yeah, so BigBen couldn't even play the copy of Vanish here, because if he did Vanish, then Toast would get the Doomguard back in hand, and BigBen would have nothing on board, so the Doomguard can just push through for the extra damage that Toastmonster needs.
So Fungal more than likely going to come being played as well.
Well, it's actually just lethal on board.
Yeah, seems to be. So that is going to be the first matchup going in favor of Toast. So the Warlock does pick up the first victory for Toast. And Ben, he is going to be going for a bit of a slow start already. And if you're Ben in this scenario, you've just lost against, I would say, your strongest deck that you brought with you, because Quest Rogue is just, I would say, one of the stronger decks we have currently. Where do you really go from here? Do you keep playing Quest knowing that the other matchups as well are extremely hard, or do you then possibly go in for your Evenlock or your Death Rattle Hunter from here?
I don't think it matters what deck you play necessarily, but it is very important that the Quest Rogue gets a win, because the Quest Rogue, against all of the decks that Toastmonster has, is very unfavored. So I guess BigBen was just trying to go with Quest Rogue off the fly. If the Quest Rogue gets a win, then we can concentrate on the other decks, but if Quest Rogue never gets a win, it is Conquest, so you definitely have to win with Quest Rogue deck, so eventually you have to play the matchup, even if it's bad. So he's just queuing it up right at the start. If you get the win straight away, maybe you have like a momentum swing, maybe you get in the mind of Toastmonster, he's like, oh, I brought this lineup to target Quest Rogue, but Quest Rogue gets a win straight off the bat. He might be a bit tilted, but knowing Toastmonster, he should be fine with that because his entire lineup is quite favored against the rest of BigBen's decks as well. BigBen does have the Death Rattle Hunter, which is quite weak against the Zoo and the mid-range Spell Hunter. He has the Even Lock as well, which is quite weak against the Tempo Mage. So I think as Toastmonster, you're definitely happy in this scenario, but even if he took a loss, he'd still be fine with it. Yeah,
also the fact that Toasty had a very good start with what he had in his hand. You can see the very early minions being played on the board. You know, you get a free Happy Goal in there, 0 mana free. Always good, and also you get a free golden Happy Goal today since the new Tavern Ball and Knights of the Frozen Throne came out as well.
Yeah, you do. So anyone that logs in today into Hearthstone would get a free Happy Goal. So if you
I checked my quest. It was like play 40 Knights of the Frozen Throne cards, 300 gold.
So if you want to replicate what Toastmonster just did to BigBen right in that series, then just log into Hearthstone.
Happy Goal. You'll be happy.
You will be happy.
So it will be a Hunter versus the Hunter going into our second matchup. One of them is going to be Death Rattle, and one of them is going to be that Secret Hunter, which we've seen a lot more play. Currently, it's really uprose, I would say, during the second half of the season more so.
So though they are both Hunter decks, the Hunter from Toastmonster is much more aggressive. He runs more smaller minions. He runs the secrets that can activate the Spellstone. And the Spellstone is really strong in any matchup, really. It's just one of the best cards that the Spell Hunter has to offer. He also has this Rexar in hand, so Rexar is another win condition for the deck. If you're ever running out of stuff, you just play down the Rexar, you change your hero powers to build a beast, and you have infinite resources. As for BigBen here, he really just has to hold off the early game pressure. Like, Toastmonster's entire goal will be just hit face, hit face, hit face, ignore everything on board, pretty much, unless you have to trade. Whereas BigBen will be the defensive player in this matchup. He just try to survive. He has like tools such as the Witchwood Grizzly, he has the Hunter's Mark, he has the Flanking Strikes. So he's just going to try to survive until he can get one turn where he can swing the board back with a play such as Cube, Play Dead, or just make a bunch of big taunts by queuing the Witchwood Grizzly and so forth.
Yeah, the Witchwood Grizzly is going to get even bigger because we know that Toast is going to keep dumping his hand, get as much threats on the board as he can, and then all of a sudden, oh wait, there's a 5 mana free 10 taunt my way, and that's going to be extremely hard to deal with. That's a good draw as well for Toast. Houndmaster Shaw creates even more threats that could potentially be in played. So not looking too good for Ben with that draw. And the only thing that I would say is kind of went in the favor of Ben is that Toast never got to draw the Spellstone very early on, because we know that Hunter has 0 board clear in that sense.
So Toastmonster choosing not to trade here means that BigBen actually has a pretty decent turn. You just Hunter's Mark this big taunt, and you can trade your 3/3 into the Houndmaster, which cleans up the board pretty nicely. You do have the Witchwood Grizzly follow-up along with the Marcy Horror, so he might actually be able to stabilize in the later turns. He actually chooses to take the value trade, the 3/3 into the 1/3 Diamol, because currently the 3/2 doesn't die to anything on board, and potentially next turn you can trade the 3/3 or the 3/2 as it is now into the Houndmaster. He just wants to get as much value out of the cards that he has currently.
The only thing that Ben is really missing is going to be that more recruit mechanics such as Katrina, which could come out, and certainly Rexar and Toast Hand is going to be, I would say, the big game changer. We've seen this in mirror matchups, that if you do not get that Death Knight, then it just puts you so much further behind. You don't get that same resource value that you can keep ticking over and over again. You know, look back at our last series where it was Boar versus Paradox. Boar got the very early Death Knight. You can see how many resources that he created with that. In the end, because of a very good mind control tech, didn't really go in the way of Boar, but certainly it just shown how much value you can really get with playing that on turn 6 on the curve.
So Toastmonster here choosing not to Houndmaster Shaw because playing both secrets allows you to buff up the Secret Keeper, meaning you do 2 more damage, and BigBen always has to be scared of the secrets. You never quite know what they are until you start.
It's a secret.
Yeah, it is a secret. Like, a secret, you don't know what it is. So yeah, BigBen has to always play around every single secret, presuming Toastmonster has it. So he does opt to not attack there, just plays down the Witchwood Grizzly. And the Witchwood Grizzly, since Toastmonster did dump a lot of the cards in his hand, it's quite big. It is a 3/10 taunt, and Toastmonster always has to be scared that if this Grizzly ever gets cubed, any activator, death rattle activator such as Play Dead, would mean that there'll be extra taunts in the way, and that could stall out the game enough.
So just even more secrets coming down for Toast that buffs up that Secret Keeper even more, so the value trades get less and less. And of course, big old Rexar is going to come down momentarily. Kelisef, Ben, that could be another potential play for him, which, you know, Kelisef, even though you don't get it on 2, it's still extremely strong because the quicker you get that being played, then it helps a lot with the recruit mechanic that you have with Katrina. And, you know, if you all of a sudden get a 9/9 King Crush on the board, that's pretty big as well.
Yeah. So yeah, the double trade along with the Rexar is quite good this turn. It allows you to clean up the taunt and clean up the 3/2 minion. Although you do replace your hero power with the Builder Beast, so even though BigBen's at 15 HP, you have to now find beasts with stealth or with charge to eventually end out the game.
This is all the secrets getting popped. That's a good old poisonous one as well, which does cause a little bit of issues for Ben because he runs big minions as well, but we know that the Mossy did get picked up. The only real use that Mossy has, because typically that is, Mossy, we've seen that being a tech card just for cards like Spreading Plague for Druid, and also, of course, Giggling Inventor is the big one that Mossy does deal with, but it done the job there to clear off those smaller snakes.
Yep, it has. This Mossy did get a lot of value. BigBen knows that whatever comes out of the secrets, such as the Venomous Trap and the Snake Trap, would end up getting cleared by the Mossy Harrison. So that's the reason why he went for the attack in the first place. We see the Spellstone getting picked up, but it's actually quite late since Toastmonster's already lost control of the board. If he does play the secret plus the Spellstone, he only gets 3 wolves, and the 3 wolves already, most of them get trade on board. If BigBen decides to take all the trades, then Toastmonster's left with one wolf. But you do see the Candle Shot in hand, meaning the BigBen, if he opts to Candle Shot, he can actually clear off all the minions. Though, by doing this, you do end up killing off your own high main, so you will have had a really slow turn, not developing much, and in his hand, he doesn't have many big minions. He has the Kelisef. You can use the tracking to try find another minion to play this turn.
I can kind of see the thought process that Toast went for the secret, then the Spellstone, just to try and bait Ben into possibly going face, because then it would have cleared the hyenas off the board and not killed the high main, most importantly. But yeah, Toast, he dumped all his hand like we talked about. He put all of his secrets down on the board. Just there, he just got the Spellstone, which is quite unfortunate for him after the turn before playing 2 secrets. But still, Rexar hasn't came out from Ben just yet. There goes Kelisef, which is another big swing card that we know has improved win percentages massively since it ever was released. So a bit of glimmer of hope from Ben, but Toast still has a couple of secrets, one of them being secret, or one of them being
Explosive Trap.
Explosive Trap, thank you very much. It's usually me who remembers you about cards.
Yeah,
I've balled it.
I'm quite good with my secrets. The other secret being the Wandering Monster. So if BigBen opted to attack into the face, then his whole board will pretty much get wiped out. Toastmonster does, in fact, when it comes to a top decking or a low card game where both players are trying to draw off the top, he does have the lower card value in his deck, because most of the cards in Toastmonster's deck are aggressive cards. He has like Eagle Horn Bows, he doesn't have many minions, he has a lot of secrets, whereas in BigBen's deck he does have those big minions like Katharina, and he does have like King Crush. Yeah.
Big Crush.
The Big Crush. Yeah. So if BigBen...
9/9 Crush?
It is a 9/9 Crush because the Kelisef gives out all minions in your deck +1/+1 buff. So Toastmonster here just basically has to build beast, build beast, build beast. Try to get a lot of stealth beasts, because it's very hard to interact with stealth minions on BigBen's side. He does have the Spider Bomb, which can clean up some of the stealth beast, but eventually the beast will be able to hit face.
Yeah, this is an extremely scary board For Toast, he's already used his Rexar as well. Does have still that explosive trap, which will clear off a majority of the minions, but we did talk about the crush has came crashing down into Toastmonster's face.
Yeah, BigBen now actually tracking for the Rexar, so the Rexar does give him 5 more life, also gives him the same options as Toastmonster, but BigBen currently has the entire board, so he's not attacking into the secrets just yet because he wanted to preserve his board to maybe trade in the smaller minions when Toastmaster eventually plays down something they create from the hero power, and then he can also play down the Rexar next turn, start doing the same things as Toastmonster, but BigBen right now is quite ahead because he does control the board, and since he drew the Rexar, he can just match what Toastmonster does.
I'd imagine that Toast probably was looking for the exploding bloodbat into potential
Poisonous?
Skitter, I believe it is,
yep.
that combos with that. But didn't manage to get it, so that's quite a hefty amount of damage that you can see Toast will take. Katrina running into that, also the King Crush, and Ben, he is going to equally start creating all of these threats that then Toast, he has to find another answer to. You know, if you get a better tide, that's extremely difficult for both of these players to deal with. I would say, of course, Ben, he has more of the advantage because he still has that Spider Bomb on board if he doesn't want to go and pop the secret just yet. Maybe wants to get a couple more resources out of Toast before he commits to that. So certainly the tides have turned in favor of BigBen at the moment.
Well, they definitely have.
Ooh,
this Mossy Horror is
good.
quite good. It clears up all the small minions, but your explosive trap also just does that anyway. So Toastmaster, I think, still wants to go on the game plan of keep building beasts. You really want the stealth beast. If you end up getting off stealth beast, since BigBen has filled up his board, can't actually interact with the stealth beast. He has to attack into the secret to clear up a bit of his board. Then he can play down the minions. The Iron Beak Owl is also really good because it allows you to silence the Spider Bomb, meaning the Spider Bomb
or Katrina.
Yeah, or Katharina, whichever one's pretty good. Silence is a great effect against Death Rattle Hunter in general. But he would have liked that with another minion with stealth. Currently doesn't have any stealth minions, no charge minions. If this game goes longer and longer, I feel like BigBen will just be able to build up a bigger board since he currently has controlled the board and just kill Toastmonster in one turn.
Yeah, that's the thing about Toast bringing these aggressive lineups is if he doesn't kill him before turn 10 and then Ben gets these big answers out on the board, then it just all comes crashing down for Toast because he doesn't have any late game. All he has is that mid game. Still hasn't even drawn his Subject 9 either, so he doesn't get the resources that, you know, yeah, 5-mana draw for 5, which is pretty bonkers still, even though they are secrets.
So BigBen acknowledging that this is the turn to start pushing since he did draw the egg. He can play the egg and the play dead. He could also play the whole of his hand. He could play the zombies along with the egg and the play dead, making a really large board, potentially threatening lethal the turn before, but he actually chooses to make another zombie. He's just thinking, if my board ever gets cleared for some reason and he does have the blowback, I do need another card to start refilling.
Yeah, it's going to go for the Life Drinker. I thought Bitter Tide might have been a good option because we know that there's no big clear on the side of Toast. So that Bitter Tide could have been a big swing turn, but nonetheless, it's still, that's going to be an extra free damage done. Gives also Ben heal back, which he needs against a very aggressive deck that Toast does have. See what Toast gets. This may be a bit of a swing for him. There's the Bitter Tide as well, still. So a potential, that's going to be a 13-13, but nope, Toast sees it. Yeah, I'm not even going to get the chance to play that.
Toast's only real out there was the Poisonous Bloatbat. Yeah. You'd have to go Bloatbat and try clear the whole board. Otherwise, yeah, you were just dead on board. There was too much damage there. You had no way of surviving and just concedes out the game. So the set is evened up at 1 apiece.
Talk about even. We may see a potential even lock come out from Ben as he still has that in the works to go with. Toast, Zoolock banned out as he did win with that. So still can go with the Secret Hunter or can pull out the Tempo Mage for a change. I would say that the best bet that Ben does have is if he gets the nuts that he needs for that even lock. So you're talking about Defile, Hellfire, even Mountain Giants could be extremely difficult that Toast doesn't really have an answer to. Both of those decks that he has no polymorph for the tempo, no candle shot hunter's mark for the secret. You know, a lot of threats that Ben can play if he gets the right cards drawn, which is, again, that's Hearthstone in a nutshell. If you get what you want, then you do have an easier time.
Yep, if you get what you want, you definitely do have an easier time. And Evenlock can definitely get a win against one of Toastmonster's deck. It most likely has the best chance against the mid-range Spell Hunter, since you run a lot of big threats such as Mountain Giant, and you have to force Toastmonster to have the answer, such as the Candle Shot into Hunter's Mark. That's an answer, the Spider Bombs. BigBen, in fact, does decide to queue up the Quest Rogue once again. It goes into Toastmonster's Tempo Mage, and Tempo Mage is insane against BigBen as Quest Rogue. This matchup is so hard to win as the Quest Rogue. The Quest Rogue basically has to complete the quest as quickly as possible and then start finding vicious scale highs to start healing up, because Toastmonster will be just firing out spells non-stop to try kill BigBen.
Already a good start for Toast. You can see that he has that good combo with the Archaeologist into the Kirin Tor Mage, and the fact that also Explosive Runes, it kills a potential minion that could complete the quest, which is always difficult for Ben to deal with. For example, if he wanted to try and complete the quest with Novice Engineer, which is the most commonly used one, all of a sudden it gets killed as you play that minion, and also you're taking 5 to the face, so that's even more burst damage that Ben just has to work around and play around.
It is a benefit that BigBen is on the coin, because the coin can be used to try counteract the counter spell. But in fact, now he knows it's definitely not a counter spell. Toastmonster runes one counter spell to Explosive Runes, and it is in fact the Explosive Runes. So Explosive Runes, as well as killing off this Minstrel, it deals 4 damage to face. That's just insane. And BigBen basically just didn't do anything on board that turn. He just played a minion, it died straight away, allowing Toastmonster to just push this extra 6 damage for him. And BigBen's already at possibly 18 or lower after this turn.
Yeah, and Ben doesn't have any answers. There's no real good turn 4 play that he could attempt to go for. Sure, you could play the Wax Elemental, but it doesn't kill off any minions, it just delays 2 attacks. And of course, Luna is going to keep getting more card draw, and that's a big old threat that Ben cannot deal with at the moment. Does pick up a Prep, so Prep Vanish is in the works. I don't believe he's going to go for it at the moment, because he would like to see Toast commit a lot more minions to the board before he goes for that.
Yeah, BigBen does have the option to start Glacial Sharding minions. He has Glacial Shard plus 2 Youthful Brewmasters and a Shadow Step, meaning he can start freezing pretty much the entirety of Toastmonster's board. Then at a later turn, he can also play down the Glacial Shard once again with the Prep Vanish. And although I did say it's a bad matchup for BigBen, this is probably one of the best hands they could have drawn into, because it prevents all the minion damage coming through from Toastmonster. So Toastmonster will eventually just have to end the game through the spells such as Frostbolt and Fireball. But he has already done quite a lot of damage, doing 12 damage at turn 5 and potentially more this turn.
So stalls the round out a little bit longer for Toast. Cannot attack with those minions, but you still get the same effect with Luna. If he wanted to choose for that, he doesn't go for it, because unfortunately it was a bit of a poor draw, as you don't really play your mage unless you get the secret to combo with that. Frostbolt as well, you talked about spells, were going to be a big factor in this as well, start bursting down a lot of the damage. And even the Mana Worm, that's going to be another big threat that Ben needs to clear also, but we know he does not have the resources or the utility to do that.
Yep. So BigBen down at 13 HP. There is in fact no more burn damage from Toastmonster, so BigBen most likely just going to go with the Prep Vanish this turn along with the Shard. He can actually nearly complete the quest, as a matter of fact. If he plays down another Shard and Youthful Brewmaster and the Shard, that will be quest complete. He also does have the Vicious Scale Hide in hand. So Toastmonster is in fact on quite a clock to end out this game. Otherwise, once BigBen gets the quest done, he just plops down those Vicious Scale Hides, starts healing up, and then makes a whole board of 4/4s. Toastmonster, who lacks AoE in the deck, will be having a bit of trouble.
So ironically, both of these heroes are going to be frozen at the moment. But of course, typically for the dagger, you only would press the button once because you only use that as an activator for your deckhands in the later game, so you're getting an instant 1 mana 4/4 charger. So Toast, he gets all of those resources back, but for how long before the quest gets completed? Not too long, so he's going to have to go pretty quick with the cards that he does have. He can play the Archaeologist and then get another Explosive Runes, which also does hurt Ben by trying to complete the quest, which we talked about earlier. So it just seems to be a complete refill and almost kind of the same that he played during the earlier rounds as well. And again, Ben, because these minions inside of Quest Rogue are really low value and low health minions, you do take quite a lot of damage. It's almost as if you are more or less getting hit by, by a fireball or even a frostbolt in some circumstances.
Yeah, definitely. Like, Toastmonster did a lot of minion damage early on in this game, and that's probably just about enough to probably seal the game, because he just needs a few more burn cards like the fireball. He's eventually going to draw that. But BigBen has completed the quest and sharded 2 minions on board, so there's a possibility. There's a possibility. There is the fireball I was talking about.
Potential lethal could be on.
It is the Cinderstorm. The Cinderstorm has to go quite your way for that to be lethal here. So Toastmonster just deciding to clear up the entirety of the board, since he does know that 1 prep's been used already, 1 skill high's been used already. Most likely, BigBen probably doesn't have another preparation with this quest, so he's going to have to spend the entirety of the 5 mana on it. And it's very hard for him to actually clear the entire board. And Toastmonster as well, even if he does clear the entire board, does have the Fireball and the Cinderstorm, which is probably enough damage.
Yeah, I think this is his game here at this moment in time. Even though he does complete the quest, it's just too slow. This is why Toast have chosen these aggressive decks to counter queue against the Quest Rogue. Yeah, sure, he clears off 2 minions, but we know that the Fireball and Cinderstorm will be able to do the work for Toast that he needed. Toast, he is going to take this tempo matchup, and Mage is going to be gone for Toast, and Ben, Quest Rogue for the 2nd time, just falling short against these aggressive lineups.
If BigBen did have like maybe 20 more HP, maybe a bit 30 more HP, he could be able to survive. He was running out of resources at the end, so it would have still been tough if he were to survive this turn, maybe 1 or 2 more. He would have to chain draw a lot of cards, maybe like Villera, maybe Mimic Pod, for more resources, Giggling Inventor. But he does fall short in that matchup. He did have a chance, but unfortunately he took too much early game damage. So that's BigBen falling down another game. Toastmonster on match point.
So, moving into the next matchup, Toast, all he can go for is his Secret Hunter. That's the only thing that he has left to win out this series against last season's champion, against his teammate. Ben, he could go for the Quest Rogue. Like you said earlier, he has to go for it to win this series either way, so get it over and done with as quick as he can. He tried that, didn't work, so possibly he may have to go for the switch up, go for the even lock, at least take it to that 5th game, even though he's not favored against, the Rogue still is not favored against the Hunter, even though I would say it is the most favorable for Ben to win against the Hunter, but still it's going to be some heck of a task for him to pull that off.
Yeah, it's definitely quite a task for BigBen right now. He has to beat the mid-range Spell Hunter, which is favored against the Quest Rogue. The even lock, as I said before, can take a win, but it's just this Quest Rogue. Though, if Quest Rogue were to take a win against Toastmaster's lineup, it would be definitely against the Spell Hunter. It's probably the worst deck out of the decks that Toastmaster did have. The Tempo Mage was really good, the Zeal was really good. Spell Hunter is still good, but it's worse than the other 2.
Yeah, mostly because it doesn't have that same burst damage from the hand that we know that Zulok has with Doomguards, with Soulfires, and then just showing what Mage had from their hand as well. It does make things a little bit more difficult. So I would say, if we see a Hunter being queued against the Quest Rogue, which we do, I was about to say that Spellstone is a must-keep, and also Rexar is a must-keep also. So this is looking a lot better for Toast compared to what he had to deal with against the previous Death Rattle Hunter that we've seen the Secret Hunter go up against?
I'm not actually quite sure you need the Rex on this matchup. You basically want to be very aggressive. You want to keep early game cards such as Secret Keeper. You basically play this as...
Spellstone's so big, that's...
Spellstone is very big, but when Spellstone does cost 5 mana, so you'd rather, especially going first, keeping a 5 mana card's not ideal. Bear Shark is a great card in this matchup, though Deckhand and the Dagger can deal with it. So Toastmonster, mainly here, he just wants his 1-drop for sure. You just want to play something on 1, start hitting him in the face.
More burst damage from hand. I believe that's the only burst damage that Toast actually does have in his deck is kill commands. I do like the Bear Shark in this scenario. That's going to be very strong, and even the hero power on 2 is still going to just push 2 damage even more. And Ben, looking at his hand, he doesn't have any bounce back effects at the moment. Double Novice Engineer is good for card draw, but already double Spellstone, that's going to be a big cause for caution for Ben. Even if he draws 1 Vanish, how's he going to deal with the other Spellstone?
Yep, the way the Spellstone is ever bad in the matchup is against Prep Vanish, but it's unlikely your opponent has 2 Vanishes, right? So the second Spellstone will come down, and it'll be very hard to clear from BigBen's side. And yeah, basically...
This is rough. This is
extremely
scary for Ben. Nice curve for Toast as well. Picking up that flanking strike can potentially kill off. Just there's not really anything that he would want to use that on. Essentially, just a 1/1 could be the only target at the moment.
Sonya is a great card in all matchups. You really want like cards like Sonya, Shadow Step, plus a charger such as the South Sea Deckhand, the Stone Tusk Boar, to complete the quest as fast as possible. That's one of the best ways to do it.
Oh, even more value from Toast. He didn't get his Subject No, we'll call him.
Subject No.
Yeah, Subject 9.
Yeah.
For any German people who may know that reference.
I was not great at German.
I didn't study.
I did study German in high school, but you know, it's all gone right now. My head's just filled with Hearthstone.
That's what we like to hear. We like to hear that. So, looking at the setup so far from Toast, he has a very good start. Has the big old Bear Shark that can't really be dealt with except for the Shard, which was another good pickup as well from Ben. And seems to be he's going to try and complete the quest with the Shard, which is extremely good against these aggressive matchups because you can really slow down a lot of the aggressive plays that Toast could perform, but he cannot bounce back enough times to freeze every single wolf that gets played.
Yeah, for sure. We might see the Shard coming back down this turn because there's no real punish from Toastmonster. It's very hard to clear all these small minions unless you have like Mossy Horror, but it's only turn 5, so that's not an available option. So BigBen planning next turn to probably use that Sonya, get back all the small minions to be able to complete the quest really quickly and replay them, trying to protect the Sonya, because there's not many ways which Toastmonster can actually kill a Sonya if it's behind a load of taunts. The only way is the flanking strike that you did see earlier, and it would be the Rexar or the kill command. And fortunately for Toastmonster, he does have both those options to kill off the Sonya if it does come down behind variable taunts.
Rexar also got drew by Toastmonster. Every good card that he has in his deck, he has managed to get it within all of his draws. That's extremely strong for him.
He has, though, he has done 0 face damage.
That's true.
BigBen, and BigBen does have quite a good hand because he has the Sonya, he now even has the Shadow Step. He will be able to complete the quest in the following 1 to 2 turns. Whereas Toastmonster, his whole board's getting cleaned up right now. He didn't play Spellstone. Maybe he was scared of, as I said, the Sonya just trading off everything. But he's in quite a predicament right now. He's slowly losing control of the board. This quest is getting done relatively quickly. BigBen even opting to Shadow Step the Sonya. He also sharded the Subject 9, meaning he'll have a target to trade in his deckhands next turn along with the Sonya.
Yeah, so Toast has decided to trade out the potential aggressive and face damage that he could have pushed during the early game. Instead, he's decided to go for the value route. You've seen him play Subject 9. You see him play for the Rexar, which is still pretty good in that scenario. It does clear off the board, where potentially then this opens up Toast to punch this damage. It's going to need to get some pretty good zombies. The big old Bitter Tide with charge is, I would say, still the #1 that Toast would like, because it's a 6-mana 9/9 charger.
Yep. Toastmonster, I would say, is probably in a very bad spot right now, because you've done 0 damage. You know that your opponent has the Sonya. That can potentially complete the quest very quickly. And since you've done 0 damage, how are you going to win? You have to make a Zombies every turn, maybe like a Stealth every turn. Maybe you can get there that way, but turn 6, doing 0 damage to Quest Rogue, you just give them so much time, so much time.
And also, Ben, he has drew some pretty good cards to accompany that quest. Both of the Steel Hides there as well, so that's going to be a good bit of healing done for Ben. So even if Toast punches him below 10 HP, he can just go ahead and heal himself for 8 on the recurring turns as well. So Toast, he's taken too long, and this is where Quest Rogue comes into play whenever they have this good assortment of minions that they have, and also the fact that Ben, I believe he did go second, so he had the coin. That, and also gave him an extra card in the mulligan as well. It just gives him more resources as well. He doesn't have to worry about dumping his entire hand, which sometimes whenever I play Quest Rogue, I've ran into that where I see a card, and then I see Brewmaster, a double Shadow Step, and I just go all on for the first 2 rounds, and all of a sudden, hold on a minute, I'm drawing dead.
Sometimes you do run out of resources with Quest Rogue, but this probably won't happen for Ben this game, since he has played a Minstrel already, has another Minstrel in hand. Also has the Sonya, of course, so like, if any of these minions ever stick, which they seem like they are doing right now, he can just trade them in and get them back. Toastmonster just going as wide as possible. He does know that BigBen has the Sonya, so he's just hoping that no charger has been drawn by BigBen. If he has drawn a charger, then it's very easy to clear this board. And unfortunately for Toastmonster, he does have that South Sea deckhand.
So Freezing Trap will be popped, so he doesn't have to worry about that anymore. And like you said, deckhands can start to be used to complete this quest, and even the preparation being picked up by Ben just gives him an even cheaper. Goes down to a 2-mana spell. 2 mana, change everybody to 4/4s. Pretty good.
Yeah, it is pretty good.
Imagine if that was 5/5s.
So
hold on a minute, I can imagine 5/5s.
You can't imagine. It was 5/5s in the not so distant past, but
with 4 minions to complete.
Yeah, that was insane. Quest Rogue still as strong as ever.
How did we get away with that?
I'm not sure, to be honest, but it has been nerfed quite a bit. But as you can see, Quest Rogue's still here and fighting. As Toastmonster, I really don't see a way out of it. You just have to keep building zombies every turn, hope for like a miracle. Maybe you can just get the perfect zombies.
Bloatbat will be
Bloatbat.
the main one.
Yeah, you just need a load of Bloatbats. Maybe you can
It's very
clear
rare
the board
to get
every turn, but
it's very rare to get, first of all, Bloatbat, and also to get the Skitterer as well. That's, you know, that's the
very
dream
rare.
one, but it's extremely hard to do so. Nothing really there that can help out Toast, I would say. Even the Flanking Strike only does 3 damage to a 4/4. Yeah, it's looking in favour of Ben at this stage. There's not a lot that we can say about it. Toast just took too long in the early stages where he had the good old hand with the Spellstone, decided to go for the value trades instead, and go for the value plays, and it has come down just to bite him in the late game, which we know that's exactly where Quest Rogue does excel.
yeah. So this is very unlike the other Quest Rogue games that we saw earlier in this series, where the Quest Rogue just got pressured down so early. It just took a lot of damage. In this game, Quest Rogue still has to take a tick of damage. It's just taking 7 damage right now, but this is already turn 8. The quest has been complete. You can easily heal back up with the Vicious Scale Hide. You have so many resources in hand. You have the Vanish to clear the board if it ever gets too big. You have the Giggle Inventor to put up some taunts. You have a plethora of options, and we'll see what BigBen chooses to go with here. Definitely completing the quest this turn. Opting to play down the Giggle Inventor is one of the strongest cards post-quest. You basically play 2 Giant Taunts and a card that has to be killed, otherwise it's going to get bounced back to your hand and replayed.
And also the fact that they're free freeze on the board. You know, going up against 4/4 Taunt and Divine Shields, it's just never gonna go in favor of Toast. You can really see his mood has changed from being a nice sit back to hands over the face, being a bit of like a board control there in some cases.
Yeah, it's getting a bit tight now.
Ben hasn't really changed. He's just laid back. He's chilling out.
Toast knew this was going to be the best matchup going in. Like, the Hunter is far worse against the even lock. I say the Hunter against the even lock can go either way.
That was a bit of a weird one. Ben decided to run in the South Sea deckhand into an explosive trap, and he just lost his Divine Shield value from his Annoyatrons.
He did, but as I see it now, I don't think Toastmonster has quite enough damage. He can push through both the Annoyatrons with the 4/4 and the Huffer. He can push 9 damage. He has the kill command in hand, meaning that's 14 damage. He is 6 damage off, so maybe Toastmonster just trades both the minions in, just pushes as much damage to the face. You can even choose this stealth minion. Can't quite play it down, but you can play that down next turn, and just hope that BigBen never drew any of his risk scale hides, doesn't have any vanishes, doesn't have Valera, but I guess you just have to hope for a miracle right here.
Yeah, so that is, I believe, a 7 mana 8/6 with stealth, so that's still pretty scary. But again, Vanish is always going to be an option that he does have. Instead, he's going to go for the kill command and start pushing all of this damage that he can provide. With the Wolves, keeps the Subject 9 as well, which could be good to trade into another 4/4 if it does come down, because we know that the Wolves cannot do that.
That is a preparation pickup. That is insane, because with the preparation, it allows BigBen to play down both the Vicious Scale Hides if he chooses to. Also, preparation Vanish, get them both back. He heals for 8, plus he has the Scale Hides back in hand, as well as clearing off 2 minions on Toastmonster's board that he can't replay.
Could also get a draw from the Minstrel as well if he wants to opt for that. Get some more resources, possibly
both
get
Minstrels. He's
Boar.
He's definitely not going to run out of resources quite soon. And this will be, in fact, what he does. He will have 3 mana left over to play any of the minions he gets off Minstrel. The only minion he can't quite play will be the Giggle Inventor. Also, going for a different line of Prep Vanishing and Minstrel, meaning the Minstrel will stay on board, as well as drawing the minions. Doesn't quite need the healing just yet, because he is a very healthy 14 life total. You've already seen 1 kill command being played, so the only way you could have died from 14 would have been cards such as Animal Companion into Huffer, double kill command, that's exactly 14, but knowing that Toastmaster's already played 1, you're not really scared at this life total.
Now Giggling as well got picked up by Ben from the Minstrel, so another 3 4/4s, 2 of them with Divine Shield and Taunt. Even the Spellstone, we know that Giggling will stop it in its tracks. No dinner for the Wolves, instead only an Annoyotron. That's what they're going to have to come up against. Still potential with some of the Build-A-Beast combos that you can get. We still know that he's hunting for... Rex are hunting for the Bloatbat and Skitter combo. But quite a hefty board for Toast at this stage.
Yep, it is quite a hefty board. BigBen, however, does have the Giggle Inventor in. Youthful Brewmaster back, so he'll summon the Annoyatrons again.
Only I see is the Bloodbat, that's it.
Yeah, it is quite tough. Toastmaster actually managed to position himself in quite a good spot. If BigBen did not have the second Giggle Inventor, he would have had a lot of damage on board. But unlucky for him, BigBen did play a lot of Minstrels this game. He's actually drawn a ton of cards, so it was quite likely that there would be the second Giggle Inventor in hand. Though BigBen still hasn't drawn his Valera. Valera is one of the best cards post-quest, once again, because it just gives you another copy of the card you played down previously. So he could have turns such as Giggle Inventor after he plays Valera, making such a huge board that it's basically impossible for Toastmonster to clear unless he does get that Poisonous Bloodbat, as we've been talking about the whole series.
Yeah, but I would still say that Toast has still a couple more chances to get that. The way it's being played out, Ben hasn't drew Valera like you talked about, and again, you can see Toast go ahead and clear off the Annoyatrons, and after that, he just goes ahead and plays another one, and then Toast has to go ahead and clear off that. But there hasn't been any damage pushed at all for Ben. It's been more him trying to survive and stabilize, which you can see he has almost just got in there. Whenever that other Giggling Inventor gets played, then that certainly will be the case. Leok was actually very good in that scenario, as it makes those wolves where necessarily they could not have traded off
was very
the 4 healths. It gives them that good trade advantage. Shard as well can freeze out. A minion could be another good option.
Yeah, so BigBen once again will probably just go wide on the board. Though Toastmonster is at quite a healthy life total of 35, that life total will soon go down if the board is not met with, because 7 4/4s, if you lose 7 4/4s or even like 6 5 4/4s on board, that is 20 damage or more. So it'll only take 2 turns for BigBen to end out this game if Toastmonster cannot find any additional ways or just run out of ways of dealing with the board. So BigBen, just think about his options right now. He could opt to play down this Giggling Inventor, but that is his second Giggle and last Giggling Inventor, and if he doesn't find a way to bounce it back, then it could get killed off by the second kill command, as we see from Toastmonster. Another option this turn would be to Glacial Shard, play the Minstrel down, draw more cards, increasing the odds you draw Valera since you're thinning your deck. And I think you do need that Valera quite soon.
So you can even see more chargers being picked up by Ben also. So more damage that can start to get pushed, which you can see Ben, he's starting to work with that. Because he hasn't turned into Valera, he still can go ahead and re-dagger up, where necessarily once you Valera, if you don't have your weapon, then that's your South Sea deckhands completely eliminated. They're just another 4/4 then in that circumstance, which still isn't too bad, 1 mana for a 4/4. Still no build a beast for Toast at this stage.
Wow.
Still doesn't get
this
it.
beast is actually really big. This is a 9/6 with Adapt. It adapted into Wind Fury or Divine Shield. I think it has Stealth as well. So if this sticks on board, it's potentially 18 damage plus 5 damage from hand. Would be the kill command. Actually, it was a crackling razor mine. Sorry, I thought the 9/6 Stealth actually had the Adapt. So even if he picks Wind Fury, it wouldn't be that good.
That's still a 9/6 with Stealth.
It is a 9/6, so it does. If there's no taunts in BigBen's hand, but you do know there is a Giggling. So if that ever connected face, it would be pretty good. But since you know there's a Giggling, it's a thin chance that would happen. BigBen actually picks up the Valera finally. He can just play down the Valera. Next turn, he can just refill the board. Doesn't have to worry about this turn because Valera puts him into stealth. He just has to make sure he doesn't attack with the dagger this turn, because if you do attack with the dagger once Valera's in stealth, you unstealth yourself.
I smell a 5th matchup coming. I don't believe that Toast has any chance of getting this. He had, I don't know how many times he had a chance to go for the Bloodbath. Still hasn't got it.
Yeah, Toastmaster toughed it out. He did try to win this game as best as
more value oriented, I believe he went for, which is
went
just
with
too slow.
the more value oriented game plan after he couldn't end the game earlier. But that hardly ever works out against the Quest Rogue, because you really need those big board clears, otherwise the Quest Rogue would just dominate the board and would just end you in 1-2 turns.
So Vanish as well being picked up, so it just sends back all of those cards that Toast did go ahead and play out, and that also bounces back another bounce back mechanic, and also Minstrel to draw the last couple of remaining minions that Ben does have. We know that there's going to be no skill hides, however, for Ben, so the healing isn't really going to come into big advantage.
Well, there's one skill hide.
There's one there, just hiding there at the
hiding on the end. BigBen actually 1 damage off lethal right here. He could trade both minions into the 8/7, play the South Sea deckhand, the boar, and Vanish, replay both the minions, and he'd have 17 damage with the dagger. So not lethal just yet, but if he just goes wide here, plays maybe 2 Giggling Inventors, I feel like it will be his game real soon.
So that's the Giggling that was held for an extremely long time, and the combo that you discussed earlier is going to be the case where this is just an unstoppable board for Ben, unless, nope, never mind. Thought that was going to be the time. Oh, he gets the Skitterer as well, but doesn't get the Bloatbat. That's unfortunate.
But even if he got the Bloatbat, it'd be a 9 mana Zombies, and he couldn't play this turn since he did spend 2 mana on the build.
That would actually be quite hard irony there if that did happen.
It would have been. He was searching for it the whole game, finally gets it, but...
Oh, hold on a minute, I'm dead.
And yeah, there's no real way of surviving this turn after seeing what BigBen has in his hand. Toastmonster just trying to like adapt into a taunt.
Still wouldn't have helped him.
Yeah, definitely wouldn't have. And yep, BigBen, after completing the quest pretty early and just ends up closing out the game. Toastmonster didn't have the early game explosive start that he wanted to have. And yeah, we're just going to a game 5. This was actually quite unexpected. I thought that Toastmonster would be able to take the series pretty handily, but...
I thought it would have been at least a 3-1.
Yeah.
But has swung into a 2-2. So we will be then heading in to see Toastmonster once again go for the Secret Hunter, which hasn't had a good run of form for him so far, mostly because he did play a little bit more passively, which you said he just could not go for. He needed to play rapid and get as many threats and start punching faces as you can. We've seen him do it twice before against the Quest Rogue where it worked, so why didn't he go for it a third time? It's quite puzzling to me. And also the fact that he's now going to go up against an Evenlock from Ben, and pretty sure everybody knows that Evenlock is one of the best cards to counter a Spellstone, which is going to be Hellfire. And also there's cards there like Defile, which is going to be another board clear. And the fact that Ben can get these Mountain Giants down early and Toast has no clear, besides I would say a Freezing Trap, this is going to be a very tough matchup for Toast in my opinion.
I think that if Toast manages to find the early game he needs, he can actually close out this game. He just needs like one of those really explosive starts. This isn't Death Rattle Hunter, this is the Mid-Range Spell Hunter, so you just want cards like you see, such as Secret Keeper, play that down on turn 1. On turn 2, just keep buffing up with secrets after secrets, make it really big. And your hero power plus cards like Eagle Horn, Bow, and Kill Command can end the game pretty quickly if BigBen does not have the taunts he needs or the healing.
So, looking at Ben's hand, it's not the ideal start. Yeah, sure he has the Defile, but he needs to get some other minions for that to combo into. And like you did just say, Secret Keeper plus these secrets is going to be extremely strong. And also for the follow-up turn, a Dire Mole plus the hero power. And then 4 drop is going to be then being played onto the Dire Mole, and then this board is going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And unless Ben can start drawing these threats, which he has managed to get one of them in the form of the Mountain Giant, but at that stage, then if Ben knows there's a secret, he always has to fear that Freezing Trap being an option.
Yep, so if this Dire Mole sticks on board, which it seems like it will, since BigBen just straight slaps down the Mountain Giant, then this Howlmaster gets a lot of value and also makes a board that's very hard to deal with unless BigBen has cards such as Hellfire. He also has to be, as you said, wary that the secret will be the Freezing Trap, although there's only one Freezing Trap in Toastmonster's deck, so statistically it's not likely to be that, but you have to be wary. That's a really big pickup from BigBen, since Toastmonster just set BigBen in on 15 HP. BigBen top decks the big Hooked Reaver that's now activated, meaning he can be a little bit less scared now. He can play less defensively, maybe put down his own bigger threats and try just push himself. He does choose not to attack because he's scared of that Freezing Trap, of course, and if he did attack in, he would be at 10 cards, meaning he'd have to throw a card out, otherwise he'd burn.
And also if he did attack, and he found out it was not a Freezing Trap, then the Cobra would have come out, and then that 7/7 would not be there anymore, and then you could see Toast just punch even more damage going into that as well. So Ben, he did make the correct play by, I think he does believe it is a Freezing Trap. He wouldn't really assume that, oh yeah, Venom Strike would be the one, because automatically whenever I see a secret, I automatically always play around Freezing Trap, because Venom Strike was never really included in the secret package, but because there is these big minions and these big threats, then that's why you're starting to see that a lot more.
Yeah. Though maybe BigBen did have to take a risk, because as we're seeing now, he did manage to clear up the Hooked Reaver on board. Though BigBen does have the Sun Fury Protector in hand along with the Coin and the Twilight Drake, so could opt to go with Twilight Drake, Coin, Sun Fury Protector, put 2 big taunts in the way, and that basically prevents all the minion damage henceforth from Toastmonster, since it's very hard to deal with such big taunts, and Toastmonster would have to rely on just killing BigBen through the hero power and kill commands. Though now the Subject Nam was played from Toastmonster, he has basically every secret. He actually just has every secret. So BigBen will always have to play around the best secret if they do come down.
So you can see that Ben has kind of stabilized with a bit of a big board. Big bunch of taunts that Toast has to punch through. Doesn't get the poisonous, which he was fishing for in that instance. Can go for Divine Shield as well, so you can keep the 4-4 alive just for a bit longer. Of course, Ben is always going to be playing around the potential Freezing Trap, which he still has not attacked into yet. And the fact that Toast then could follow up with another 2 secrets, then yeah, Ben certainly does know that at least one of those will then be a Freezing Trap.
Yeah, definitely. These adapts aren't ideal, as you said. There is the Divine Shield, which is alright, but he would have really wanted to see maybe the +3 attack, so he could clear off the Mountain Giant. But he can still clear off the Mountain Giant if he opts to play 2 secrets and just trade both minions.
That's what I seen there, yeah. So, Mountain Giant gone. Twilight Drake, yeah, sure it is a big taunt minion, but 4 attack isn't that scary compared to an 8 attack, and of course we know that Ben is still going to be playing around that Freezing Trap, which has been played. Oh, has it not? No, I don't think it has yet. Instead, he did decide to opt for the Explosives Trap and the Wandering Monster instead of that. And he's going to actually test that with the Sun Fury Protector as well. So we know that the Explosive is going to be popped and also the Wandering is going to be popped, but the Freezing will not.
In this current position, I still probably like to be in Toastmonster's shoes, because BigBen is actually quite low on HP right now. He is on only 11.
Can't really tap
HP.
that off.
Also, he has limited healing cards in his deck. He only has the Spellstone. He only has
Washerman, Shrimp Brewer.
Yeah, Shrimp Brewer. I forgot the name just now. Glad you're here.
This is why I'm here. There's no other reason.
Yeah, I'm not great with card names. I
You're
know
like
what
the
they
main
do.
actor. I'm the supporting role.
I just don't know what they're called. But BigBen able to clear off this board with the Defile he did pick up. Though he still is on that 11 HP. There is a fully loaded Spellstone with no Hellfire in hand for BigBen. So after seeing that Defile, and with no more AoE, it's very hard for him to actually clear the board.
So it's going to have to be some pretty good top decks, I would say, for Ben that he needs to get, which, you know, Ben he gets some pretty good ones now and again. If he does get, you know, possibly the Hellfire, then that will, I would say we'll see Toast possibly do a little bit of a freak out on camera if the top deck comes out. Which will it be? No.
Not quite a Hellfire. And I don't see any way how the Defile can clear here. If he did have 1 more mana, if he had 8 mana, he could go Dread Infernal and the Defile. And that still wouldn't be able to clear, right? So,
No,
sorry.
it doesn't seem to be.
It doesn't seem to be. He doesn't have anything that can activate the Defile.
Still plenty of secrets in the hand for Toast as well, and one of them being that Freezing Trap also can deny a big minion if it does get played. So if, you know, you could see Freezing Trap come out, and then potentially if Ben has that Bone Mare turn option for him, and then he wants to punch with a buffed up minion, then that's going to get sent back to the hand, which could be very strong for Toast.
BigBen's in quite a rough spot. Maybe he just has to go for the Hail Mary tap into Hellfire to try to survive. does tap into, I think that's another Hooked Reaver, which is a very good draw because it's just a big taunt that Toastmonster has to deal with. He doesn't have cards such as Hunter's Mark. The only real good way of dealing with Hooked Reaver would be the kill command. BigBen putting out the well played here. He thinks that Toastmonster does have the kill command in hand, which he does not. So technically he's still in this game. We're going to see what this Animal Companion picks up. Picks up a Hoffer.
Better than Misha.
Let's see, is this enough damage to clear off the game? The 3/3 goes into the Twilight Drake. Another Wolf goes into the Hooked Reaver. Hoffer goes into
18 damage plus 2 with.
He's one mana off.
I can't 18 damage that he has that he can play.
He can't quite break through all these taunts effectively. He can use Houndmaster on one of his minions to break through this Volgar Homunculus and push 3 more with the Wolf.
Sets up lethal.
It does set up lethal, it does put down BigBen on 2 HP. It's not quite lethal just yet, but I think you still do it because this also prevents the live tap. And it's just tough for BigBen to heal and clear the board both at the same time. And as it is right now, there is a Bone Mare, but the Bone Mare gets traded in on board. Just going through the options right now, but I don't see any way that BigBen survives. Just opts to take the sacrificial life tap, and wow, Toastmonster takes it eventually. It was a closer series than what I thought it'd be, but in the end, the favored lineup prevails, and Toastmonster takes the victory, and will be moving on to the upper bracket semi-finals, beating his teammate BigBen.
Oh, Jackie, you're here.
I know.
Where'd you come from?
I'm back, boys. I've slotted in just at the correct time, and there you have it. The victory comes through. Toastmonster will be carrying on. He has been able to pick up the victory, and that was a long old series, boys. Went the whole hog.
Not as long as what Lethal and Leroy had to go through, but certainly I would say that the fact that we know that the quick tempo play that Toast has brought to this LAN event has certainly prevailed for him. A little bit shaky there for a time whenever we seen that the Quest Rogue did manage to get a win, which was the least likely matchup, but we said that if Ben had gotten the cards that he needed, such as Hellfire, that would have been extremely tough for that Spellstone, but it just wasn't the case. Ben didn't get the cards that he needed, and yeah, kind of game set match from there.
Yeah, definitely a tough one for Toastmonster, tougher than what he thought it'd be. But in the end, he did take down the series, which he was on paper. This was the lineup he was definitely targeting. The Quest Rogue did, in fact, get a win, so it didn't entirely get swept, and the Hunter was a bit shaky, but he did it in the end. Yeah, that's all that matters.
He came through, broke through, he done what he needed to do.
Yeah. Good stuff across the board. But there you have it with the post-match roundup. It was a 3-2 in favor of Toastmonster. Now, BigBen said that he was scared going into that game to face off against Toast, right? And willingly so. It's been proven there. The M&M battle does go in favor of Toast. How do you think this shapes up things now for both of these players in the rest of their tournament run?
Well, obviously, Toast, he's going to have a good bit of momentum going into these next matchups, knocking out, first of all, last season's champion, and then also beating one of his fellow teammates. That's always going to feel a bit sweet and soft, but of course, everybody here, they want to win. They want to be the champion. Ben, this could shake him a little bit, but if he continues, he has played pretty well for the most part. I would just say he got very unlucky with the draws he had in this final matchup, and it seems to be that he can play some pretty good Hunter there from what we've seen recently.
Yep, I didn't see any real clear mistakes from both sides, and yeah, well played from both players right now. So Toastmonster again does move on to the next round. BigBen does drop, he does lose a game, but there is, of course, the lower bracket. So if you win every game from now on, you can still definitely take down the title.
Yeah, that is very true. You're going to have a fierce-fought fight, though, the rest of the way to go. By no means will it be an easy feat for him to carry on from here, but something that will make his life a little bit easier is that lovely AOC monitor that he's got gracing his eyeballs. And you can, too, grab yourself one of these bits of kit rather than pizza kit. That's a pits of kit is not what you want.
We're making more words up.
I know, we're inventing them as we go, which is what
you're good at making words up.
Oh,
to be fair, I have just had a Worthquake, so can't be sitting on the camera, but hashtag Worthquake Keep it going. And also, hashtag ESL Prem. Hit us up on Twitter if you enjoyed that series, what your key moments were, what excited you from that matchup. But it does seem like that is that one wrapped up, all done and dusted. There is, of course, still more to come here on the Prem, so definitely stay tuned as we will be carrying on. But something special now that we have ready for you guys, once again, is another interview with a wonderful Frankie Ward. She's up on stage. She has someone there prepared to lock it down.
Shucks, Jackie, thank you so much. You're always so kind with your words. But I'm with our victor, Toastmonster, and you got your revenge because he beat you in Season 4's final. But now you've beaten him back, my friend. But he is your team member. So do you feel happy, or is it a bit of a double-edged sword, bittersweet?
Yeah, bittersweet's definitely how I describe it. I mean, obviously, everyone wants to win, and it's nice to sort of even the score, as it were, on that. Now I think we're 2-2 competitively, which is, you know, maybe we'll have to play again later on in the tournament to see who's really the better player. But yeah, just overall bittersweet, really.
Did you build your decks deliberately to knock him out of the competition?
So I definitely built my lineup with what I thought Ben would play in mind, but just looking at the bracket and how I thought this side of the bracket's lineups would look, my lineup, which just lines up really well against that, and that's kind of what I was looking at building, but looking to build a lineup that wins my side of the bracket and then dealing with the other side later.
I was going to say, though, when we get out of this side of the bracket and we're into that grand final stage, could your aggro decks leave you vulnerable to any of the competition here?
Yeah, definitely. The upper side has a lot more control heavy and sort of anti-aggro stuff. But I think the value of winning your side of the bracket is just so much higher, and it's worth taking the risk that maybe if you do get to the final, you'll be quite unfavoured. It's just worth the risk.
And you've written everything on paper. You love a bit of paper, don't you, Toastmonster? In terms of what's on paper, who is your biggest competition? And are you at the top?
In terms of on paper, the biggest competition is probably Dead Draw. He has just a straight-up anti-aggro lineup. Sort of every matchup is just really bad for me in that. But maybe if it comes to it, maybe I'll still be able to take it. Well,
good luck. You're in the upper bracket, so you can lose once before you have to face going out of the competition. So you are in a pretty good position, my friend. So we will see you for more Hearthstone action tomorrow. For you guys at home, you should be aware that we've got a brand new ESL gaming PC, and all our players are playing on it this weekend, whether they're warming up and practicing for their matchups or they're playing on this very stage. It is built by Intel and PC specialists, and it's available exclusively from Curry's PC World. We're going to take a quick break, but don't forget, as Jackie said earlier, if you want to let us know what you're thinking, what you're feeling, use the hashtag ESL Prem on all the relevant socials, the Twitter, the Facebook, and the YouTube. We'll see you on the other side.